Good day, everyone. We all have been affected by the current COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic's impact and consequences, however, are felt differently depending on our status as individuals and members of society. While some try to adapt to working online, others have no choice but to be exposed to the virus in order to survive. That is why our group decided to have this project entitled Buhay ng Padjak Driver sa Panahon ng Pandemya. Buhay ng Padjak Driver sa Panahon ng Pandemya is a documentary film that will present how a Padjak driver makes a living during a pandemic. This documentary film will show how the pandemic affected work as a Padjak driver. Additionally, this film aims to show what is going on in their lives during the time of lockdown when travel restrictions are in place, then how they gradually return to work. This documentary film will feature Santos Besmonte Bonaobra, known as Lolo Santos, or Tio Santos. He is 72 years old from Purok 5, Baranghawan, Tabaco City. He served his community as a pajak driver for almost 46 years. He began working as a pajak driver in 1975 until now, and he was one of the oldest pajak drivers. He was a pajak driver since he was a teenager, for this is the only work he has as no available jobs offered before. Lolo Santos was able to own the pajak that he is using today as he pays for it through installment. Also, he receives the meals he eats on a daily basis here. In addition, he has no family, no wife, nor children. The only person he has today is his one sibling. There are 7 persons behind this proposed documentary film. The director, camera person, editor is Nel Erin Joy. He do videography and photography since high school and working as a freelance videographer, shooting weddings mainly. He is an online content editor of Bicol University College of Arts and Letters editorial newspaper, which is Budyo. The producer is John Marco Bernal, who used to be a writer and host of Boses ng Speechless. Next is Alliah Bora, which is the host and script writer. Hosting this documentary film excites her as it is one of her dreams. Rodney Bogayan is the assistant writer. Howard Bermundo is the sound recordist. He started loving music at a very young age. Singing, playing guitar, and being in bands really defines his obsession when it comes to music. He loves and enjoys discovering music as well as making music sound amazing. Leizel Ambal and April Zhel Bechayda are the researchers.
Let's proceed with the goal. The goal of the documentary film is to spread awareness to the lives of pajak drivers during the pandemic, since some of the people criticize the actions and other things with the situations of transportation during the pandemic. This documentary will show or will explain the part of the most criticized form of transportation, which is the pajak. Let's proceed with the location. The location of this is in Tabaco City. It is because Tabaco City is known as the pajak capital of the Philippines, as well as it is their basic transportation in the locality. But beyond its finest from pajak industry, there is an untold stories from drivers suffering from the different battle of survival. By this, it will help to touch people's heart by showing how hard and pitiful the life of pajak drivers are. With this in mind, aims the documentary aims to follow the life of an individual who experienced things firsthand, focusing more on how his life is affected by the pandemic. Let's proceed with the synopsis of the documentary treatment. Let's proceed with the Act 1. From this act, we will start with how we vibe introducing tobacco as the Pacha capital of the Philippines, showing past videos of Pachak life, focusing how Pachak is a crucial transportation in the city, and begin with the introduction of the character who is Santos Bismonte Bonaarbra, or widely known as Lolo Santos. For the Act 2, the introduction of Lolo Santos will dwell first on his journey on how he became a budget driver and his story of early years of becoming a Pajak driver. This act will have a light-hearted mood to frame the character's journey as a hard-working man. The timeline will then transition into the start of pandemic. Problems will start to arise and the introduction of life in the pandemic. It will involve how it affects Lolo Santos when transportation and other works ceases due to the lockdown. It will show what solution he can do to support his family without his work and how they strive to survive the pandemic. After the lockdown, little by little, they return to public transportation but with restrictions. The story will show how the struggles of these restrictions and others the story shows the struggle of these restrictions and other problems like passenger capacity, fare price, and how the current cost of living affected their situation. And for the Act 3, the third act is the part where Lola Santos slowly tries to recover from a very low situation and pushes back up to have a sustainable life despite the challenges. This story introduces the people surrounding Lola Santos and who helped him throughout his life. It continues up to his current situation as a Pachak driver, giving hope and awareness to the public of the truth behind the lives of Pachak drivers in Tabaco City during the pandemic. Let's proceed with the budget plan. Above the line, we have the three items, which is pre-production and development, producing staff, write music, and talent. For the pre-production and development and producing staff, we have zero. We are not going to pay for that. But for the rights, music, and talent, we have 700. It is because that 700 is the payment for the music that we are going to use. And below the line, we have seven items. The crew and personnel, which has no amount, zero. For the production expenses, we have 1,500, which is composed of 500 for the food and a token of appreciation to the character that we had on our film. The following travel and related expenses, post production, insurance, office and administration costs, publicity, promotion, and website. Let's proceed with the financial plan. In our financial plan, we have these two items. The first one is the director's contribution. The second one is the in-kind services. In the director's contribution, we have this 50%, and in the in-kind services, we have also 50%. When we total of them, the total of them is 100%. Let's proceed with the marketing plan. Our primary target audience is people with the age of 13 years old and above. This consists of teenagers and adults who are more engaged in the daily commuting. The method that we are going to use to disseminate the film is social media platforms. With the use of these, audiences can easily view or access the documentary film uploaded since the mainstream media is the most convenient way utilizing communication nowadays.